यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 11 of 14th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sarvadvareshu Dehesmin Prakasha Upajayate Jnanam Yada Tada Vidyat Vivruddham Sattvamityuta. Bhagavan Krishna is teaching us to understand the reality of Maya, the reality of the world. This is very easiest way to analyze, to inquire the experience of the world from the aspects of three gunas. This is known as Gunatraya Vivekaha. The knowledge of three gunas. The world is full of knowledge of three gunas. See, every creature has got its own specific form and characteristic and color and even taste. All those differences we keep aside. We will just have this Gunatraya vision. The vision, so only we are going to categorize according to gunas. Then already we have the data according to the worldly experience. We have already learnt the varieties of animals, birds and plants, about the places of the world, and varieties of natures. So all this difference that we have already, but all the difference must be categorized according to these three gunas. Even our experience also comes under this category. Finally, all objects of the world, whatever the things are manifested, they have to be categorized according to these three gunas. And this body, mind, buddhi, everything comes in the categories of three gunas alone. Now the question is, by understanding the world through these three gunas, what will be the benefit? The benefit is, we can just become a non-victim of three gunas, because three gunas are the main cause for suffering, because they alone bring the bondage which is in the form of suffering. Therefore, Krishna establishes the knowledge of three gunas in three topics. First, he started establishing the definition of these three gunas. What is the definitions? That's what we saw, Sattva is Prakashatmakam, Rajoguna is Ragatmakam, and Tamoguna is Pramadatmakam. Prakashatmakam means that which is endowed with brightness, clarity. We can call it brightness or clarity or purity. And the second one is Ragatmakam. Raga means desire, likes and dislikes, action oriented, and that which is establishing likes and dislikes and achievements, action oriented. The final one, Tamoguna, is Pramadatmakam, which becomes a great delusion. So these are the Lakshanam. Then also Bandhana Prakaram. The second topic he said, Bandhana Prakaram, how it binds us. With what kind of aspects or things we are bound with. It said, Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayati. The Satuguna gives attachment or brings attachments towards pleasure. Rajoguna brings attachments towards more actions, and the Tamoguna brings attachments with papa, pain, and not only that, it also keeps a person in deluded level. Then finally, the lingam. The third topic is lingam. Lingam means what? It's a kind of indication. How can we identify whether the person is predominated by sattva or tamas or rajas? Okay, that's what the verse number 11 says, the lingam for sattva guna. Sattva guna lingam. Lingam means indication. Sattva guna lingam means sarvadvareshu asmin prakash asmin dehe sarvadvareshu prakasha upajayate. The all sense organs are endowed with brightness. What does it mean? The sense organs are endowed with clarity. They can just understand the things 100%. You know, how much percentage means what percentage one can receive the data completely. What I mean to say, when you listen to something, when you observe something, or when you receive something, if your mind and buddhi and indriyas are endowed with sattva guna, you will be able to receive 100%. Not even complete 100%, but that is very rare. So when you are committed yourself with meditation, everyday practice of meditations brings that capacity to receive properly. Therefore, in our life, meditation is to be a part. Every day you should have meditation, but with the clarity. Having meditation, you cannot gain Brahmajnana. Okay, Brahmajnana is only attained through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. The qualifications for that is attained through Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga that we have completed in the last chapter itself. Now the meditation, the mind which is trained through meditation has the capacity to concentrate more. When you listen, you can listen 100%. That's what, these three gunas can be taken as a motion, movement. So if I bring a small flower, a rose flower, and I show in front of you, or I bring some kind of shloka, okay, one Bhagavad Gita shloka in a paper, I will show in front of you like this, the first shloka or any shloka, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. That verse is written here. I will show in front of you. Okay. If I will be doing like this, I will keep on moving my hands. Can you read it? You cannot read it. Okay. Chalo. So it is stand still. If you are moving here and there, okay, your chair is, it is endowed with vibration, some kind of vibration, just for imagination. Okay. So when we are fluctuating, then also the things cannot be learnt properly, isn't it? That's what the secret of the three gunas. When your mind is moving fast, jumping fast from one object to another object, you cannot see the things clearly. That jumping fast, it's not able to stick with one object or one content at one moment. So in a moment we have to be endowed with one thing. That's what that focusing capacity, dharana shakti is. The sattva guna person whose mind is endowed with meditation, whose mind is endowed with tranquility, peace, relaxed. So when you are relaxed, your eyes and all indriyas will be endowed with health. They will be healthier than the person who is always fluctuated. The health, first of all, should be maintained in our psychological level. Then physical level health, it will take place. The physical things need some kind of exercises. Therefore, yoga is the best exercise. It gives the exercise to the body, and it also gives the exercise to the psychological system. Mind, indriyas, everything becomes sharpened. Now the Sattva persons whose eyes will have the vision of 20 by 20. Do you know what is 20 by 20 means? Having clear vision. When you listen something, you will grasp completely. That grasping capacity, 100%. We call it Medha Shakti. The Sattva person will be endowed with Medha Shakti. Medha Shakti means there are three kinds of powers involved. The receiving capacity, 100% receiving capacity, and 100% storing capacity. Sometimes we may receive the things, then that may go from our mind. We may lose, we may not have the storage capacity, means memory. The memory power is the power which is required for the knowledge, because everything which is in the form of education, shlokas, and which is in the form of technical terms. After realization of the Brahman, you need not have any memory, because the knowledge of Brahman is not dependent on even the memory power. Therefore, in the beginning we need to have certain kind of memory power. For that, one should maintain himself, means one should maintain his body, mind, buddhi, and even indriyas, everything to be maintained with sattva guna. We are learning in order to establish ourselves in that guna. So while learning itself, when I say, if we are endowed with fluctuation, we cannot understand the world, because world is already endowed with motion, movement. Earth keep on rotating. And we are also on the earth. Our mind also should rotate in the same wavelength, same speed. Then alone we can understand. If the speed of earth and the speed of our mind is not correlated, or it is not at the same speed, so mind loses the capacity to understand the object of the world. I think you are understanding what I say. If you are not understanding, the speed of your buddhi and the speed of my talk is not in the same speed. So this can be understood in this way. The Rajoguna is the speed which is with fluctuate. The Sattva mind which has got the equal speed of the nature. So it can adapt himself or itself to the speed of the, means that capacity of the object. So when I am delivering the lecture, if your body, mind and sense complex which are maintained, trained in the Sattva Guna, you can listen properly and you can also grasp 100% the subject of the content of the talk. Therefore, Sattva Guna is the best for the life. Other two gunas will be there, but Sattva Guna will dominate other two, because other two gunas also we need to proceed the life with, because we need to have sleep. At the sleep we need not to have Sattva Guna. We need not to be endowed with Rajoguna. Rajoguna means more fluctuated, more action oriented. Sattva Guna. So only the main in the waking state, mind and body must be kept in the Sattva Guna, are adapted. So how to bring Sattva Guna in our system or to our system means, therefore we study Shastra. Shastra will help us to learn about gunas, to bring the gunas, to change the gunas. We can convert. If I am able to understand the Shastra, but my mind is in the Rajoguna, but I cannot enjoy the benefit of Shastra. Anything cannot be enjoyed if the mind and body is not maintained in Sattva Guna. Therefore, the person who is endowed with Sattva Guna is fit for this world and life. Sarva Dwareshu means Indriyas. Dwara means whole, but whole means they have these all Indriyas, sense organs. So the Jnanendriyani, which helps us to gain the data of the world, the data has to be grasped properly. Therefore, I wanted to tell about Medha Shakti. Medha Shakti means which involves three kinds of capacity: receiving capacity, storing capacity, then upbringing capacity. Not upbringing means, so to bring up somebody. No, to bring out whenever the need is there, it has to be, no, it has to come out. It has to pop up in our mind. This is what Karna lacked for. So first time when he shot Nagastra towards Arjuna, at that time he remembered. Then the next time he was not able to recollect. So that's what, the curse, because of the curse, Medha Shakti was snatched from Karna's mind. I am talking about the character in Mahabharata. Karna, who was a warrior, who was a great person, and who was endowed with meditative mind, means the mind which was completely focused with. But because of the curse, he lost it, therefore he failed. He was defeated by Arjuna. The mind which is endowed with Medha Shakti means that will grasp the things 100% and it will store the 100% and it will recollect whenever it is needed. Therefore, if we are lacking for Medha Shakti, we have to do Parayana, chant of Medha Suktam. Om Medha Devi Yushamana na agad Vishvachi Bhadrasu Manasya Mana Tvaya Jushtan Udamana Duruktaan Brihadvadema Vidathe Suvira. It continues like that. The Medha Shakti has been given a form as a Medha Devi. It's a beautiful sukta. It's very short sukta. Just you can by heart and keep chanting every day. Definitely your Medha will be increased. Medha Shakti will be increased. Jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattva. That person completely, he will appear as a very matured, knowledgeable. The way he looks at the things, the way he receives the things, the way he speaks with the people, the way he tastes the things, When you provide food, he will taste and he will also have the positive comment. Only sattva is flourishing everywhere. Sattva guna. What was the guna of sattva? We learnt earlier itself, harmless, prakashatmakam. The person's life which is endowed with peace and pleasure is known as sattva guna. This is what our motto. The spiritual life should bring a person to this guna. And if the person is not able to maintain his mind in sattva guna, no spiritual progress will take place. Doesn't matter from where he begins with. Like the Vishwamitra, whose nature was very rajasic, but he could attain sattvika nature. He made lots of efforts. Therefore, the person who is endowed with sattva guna, he is the person who is eligible for spiritual progress, means jnana yoga. The karma yoga, as I told you, karma yoga is to conquer tamoguna. Upasana yoga to conquer rajoguna. Jnana yoga to utilize sattva guna, and after utilizing the sattva guna, he will come to know that which is beyond three gunas. That's what is called moksha, liberation. And after attaining liberation also, he will continue with the sattva guna, which is very positive. Our sense organs, the yoga will help us to maintain sattva guna. You cannot continue yourself in rajasic nature after practicing a serious yoga and meditation sadhana. If you are keeping yourself with rajasic nature and still you are practicing yoga, means you cannot attain complete benefit of yoga at all. I am damn sure about it, because I am the student of B.K.S. Iyengar, so who was a great knowledgeable person in yoga, and recently he passed away. But the people who lived like legends. So for me, he is a Patanjali. So recent Patanjali. So perfect. So when he teaches any asanas, he is very perfect. He is very sharp, he is very particular, not only with the posture, with the attitude, with the psychological aspects toward it, with the goal. When you go in front of him, just he will scan you. He will scan completely and he will tell you, so what and all the problems are there in your physical things, and what and all that emotional imbalance are you are going under. So everything he will just throw on your face. Just he will say that what is your aim to learn yoga, to become fit. Okay, there's no problem, you can continue. To maintain my shape, then he will reject. Okay, you can learn from my students. Just with a proper intention, one should go to him to learn yoga. That's what B.K.S. Iyengar is. So he was perfect acharya. Therefore, I say the yoga will help us to maintain ourselves in sattva guna. The mind which is established in sattva guna is the mind which is eligible for both life, materialistic life and spiritual life. Both require sattva guna. Okay, then what about rajo guna? Let us read the next words. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmanamasamasprha rajasyetani jayante vavruddhe bharatarushabha. So this is lingam for what? Rajoguna lingam, the indication of the rajoguna. If you want to judge a person who is predominated by rajoguna, these words will help for that. Lobha, the mind of a person which is endowed with lobha, greed. He will be greedy. Whatever the things are endowed with glory, he wants to snatch them, he wants to pluck them, he wants to own them, greedy. He is not satisfied with what he has. He is always craving for others' object. Pravritti, commencements of works. Always, pravritti means he wants to enter, jump into action. He is ready to jump into action. This is like a switchboard. When you switch on something, so it will immediately pops, boom, like a current he is. Karmanam arambaha, laukika karmanam arambaha, very passionate towards the materialistic aspects of the life. Having desire over power and money, name and fame. And if a mind is having more desire than its capacity, then that mind becomes what? Imbalanced one. That is what is known as restlessness. You should remember what the example I gave. When I ask you to read a shloka, if your mind is fluctuated, jumping one desire to another desire and one goal to another goal, or one problem to another problem, you cannot receive properly. The data are not received properly. Though eyes may have that darshan, means a vision, you may see the things, you may look at the things, but you cannot grasp the complete knowledge of that particular object because mind is locked elsewhere. These kind of people are locked with emotions. If the person is said something, they give priority and pradhanata for comments. If a person comments, if one negative comments, the whole day will be collapsed by these people. And sometimes, positive comments also. So one person I knew, who is a singer, he was praised by the people after completing a concert, music concert. So he was able to succeed and he became successful. He got the cup, means he won the cup. Everybody started praising him. Then at that night, he was not able to sleep. He called me by 1 o'clock night. Swamiji, I am not able to sleep. And I said, why? What happened? What went wrong? And he said, no, everything went well, therefore I am not able to sleep. Why? Because mind becomes restless. When we are praised, you just observe. So your mind means our mind, when it becomes restless by receiving any praise, means something is not good, because our mind is endowed with rajasic nature. That restlessness is to not lose that state which we have received, not to lose the fame which we have received. That what is that? The fear of losing, fear of maintaining it, fear of owning it makes us into restless state. Therefore, mind, if it is endowed with restlessness, the first, punishment to the person to live with restlessness. That itself punishment, I tell you. Our jnanis were, our people, forefathers were very clear about it. That total your life only depends on your mentality, your goal. Your life has to depend on only you. When you establish yourself in dharma, there alone you can find the relaxedness. Nowhere you can live your life as a competitor, or you can live a life as a person, one who achieved. So living life with peaceful mind means with tranquility, or living life with restlessness, it depends on our own self. That's our choice, that's our free will. Lobha means greed, pravritti means jumping into the action, karmanam arambaha always wants to change the karma, jump another achievement, having more achievements. Ashamaha means restlessness, and spriha, and endowed with craving tendency, means longing for something, always longing for something, not becoming satisfied what we want, just craving for something which we want, which we won't have. This is known as etani rajasi jayante. So when a person is predominated by rajoguna, these are all the lingam indications. So we get out of his activity, out of his talk and walk and the living style, everything, it will just, it will appear, it will show only rajasic nature. These kind of people, when they want to get a car, they will get a car as a car. There was an ad I saw, car. The car has to be with a big, great brand, and the car has to appear like a truck, means it is like a lorry. It's a huge car. And that he will go for the number one brand, and the shoes and pants and shirts and the cooling glass, everything, sunglass, everything is very costly. And this person, when he walks, when he speaks, he will use the language. That language, every word of that language will indicate I am the person, one who is center of my life. So everything is because of me. This company is because of me, and my family is because of me. My achievements, everything depends on me. The success, so only I was the person who was the cause of the success. So all, so when he looks at the people, he will look at the people with a complex. Either he will be endowed with superiority, or he will be endowed with inferiority. So maximum these kind of rajasic people, they will maintain the superiority complex. But these tamasic people who are endowed with inferiority complex, therefore they want to dominate others. All these asuras, demons, in our epics you could have seen, they want to overpower the world. They want to rule others. This ruling others nature itself, it shows that their mind is not in peace. They want to dominate others. So dominating nature is not preferable for both. If you want to have successful life, we have to cut off these natures. Therefore, Rajasic Lingam is explained in the verse number 12. We will continue from next session tomorrow. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Pur पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ